I'm coming on to film this video today just to let you know that with enough perseverance, anyone can make it. And I'm going to be a living testament of this. Why? Because I'm nobody. And I don't say I'm nobody in the sense that I think I'm worthless. Because I don't. I know my worth. But I say that I'm nobody in the sense that I know Elon Musk, Nikola Tesla, Henry Ford, Albert Einstein, or any being as such for that matter. Because here's the thing, we all are. You and I, we're equals. We're just like those people. And look, by no means am I throwing their accomplishments under the rug. I appreciate and respect them deeply because they are incredible people, or were. But so are you. And all too often these people get called geniuses because, well, they are. But the thing is, the word genius actually comes from the Latin root gignere, which refers to the innate abilities each person is born with, the unique seed you were born with. Those people just leaned into their natural abilities and pursued their highest potential to let that seed come to flower. The issue is nowadays that there's just too many distractions. And honestly, I think that if Albert Einstein was around nowadays, quite potentially he wouldn't have had the chance to make such a name for himself because of this very thing that I'm filming this on, this phone. There's just too many distractions and people are just being pulled away from the deep inclination inside of them. They forget how to listen to themselves. They spend their days searching on YouTube, all but losing themselves. Get that? People nowadays spend their time searching YouTube only to lose themselves. And that's the issue. Because it's so easy nowadays just to go on social media in 2 clicks and look at all the other people in Miami and all the people shouting about making 10k a month. Do you think if Leonardo da Vinci was around nowadays, he'd be trying to make 10k a month with TikTok Shop in the fastest way possible? No. Even back then, he never prioritized wealth or money or fame. He would often decline rich people who sought after him to paint paintings or pictures for him. And he only really pursued things that really genuinely interested him. He spent his whole life being curious as a child, and that's why he was so incredible and accomplished. Because he didn't waste time trying to attain wealth in the fastest way possible. He just pursued and followed his natural inclinations. Albert Einstein is another example. Leonardo da Vinci, in particular, I've been increasingly interested in lately because of a documentary I came across of him, and that in part led me to get that book back there, Mastery by Robert Greene, which is my favorite book. But Leonardo da Vinci, or Albert Einstein rather, take him. He, at the age of 16, began to think about his theories, and who knows, maybe before, maybe later. But from that point, it took him 10 years to really develop his ideas and theories on the theory of relativity. It's not like something just, happened overnight. He spent hours and hours and he put in his 10,000 hours into thinking. You don't just become incredible or a master all of a sudden. You do things over and over and over, and that's how over time you become a master. And you do that by following your deep inclinations. Albert Einstein, when he was a kid, I think around the ages of 8, he was gifted a compass, I think for his birthday, by his father. And even then, already, he was just mesmerized by the fact that there were invisible forces that were pulling this needle left to right. And you just have to think back to your childhood. What was that one thing for you that you just loved doing, that was play for you? The issue with today's world is just that people are unfulfilled because they do unfulfilling work. They, at the ages of 4, love to paint, right? But then, come the age of 7, 8, 9, your parents might say, or your teacher might say, yeah, well, cool, you like painting, but math is more important. And then your parents tell you to drop painting or art because math is more important, and to do math because you need it to be an engineer or whatever, and they want you to become an engineer, or they want you to become a doctor. And then what happens when you're 18 or 19? Instead of following your deep inclinations, you just do what's popular, what's trending, what your friends are doing. You go to XYZ college because your friends are, and you do ABC because XYZ is trending. And that's how then people go on to work for 40 years in jobs they hate and are unfulfilled by. I have become increasingly inspired by what mastery talks about. Just following your deep inclinations and truly just becoming someone by leaning into your natural abilities. And take this from me, someone who a year ago was trying to run an agency and offer generic lead services just to make $1. I was chasing that 10K per month. I wasn't even following my own advice back then. And more recently I wrote, you will succeed far more by getting addicted to making small and consistent progress. By getting addicted to small and consistent progress, you will succeed far more than you otherwise would chasing success. And that's the issue nowadays. These people online, they see people making 10K a month on TikTok and dropshipping and SMMA. And they think that's all that's important. Because a year ago, me too, I thought it was, because I just wanted to make 10K so I could help my family and support my family. But the thing is, the order should be, no matter how altruistic you are and how selfless you are, you help yourself, then you help your family, then your friends, then your community, then the world around you, okay? How are you going to really help others if you can't help yourself first? You need to be able to help yourself to help them. Because if you don't help yourself first, you're not going to have enough value to help them. You can't pour out of an empty cup. You need to follow and really just lean into those natural abilities you have, whatever they are. And sometimes it might be hard to really think deep down and try and figure out what these things are. And that's mainly because around the ages of 7, that voice deep down inside of you gets drummed out by your parents and teachers, because they tell you to do XYZ, and they tell you to go to this school and do this and do that, and you just get pulled further and further away from that voice deep inside of you. And you just need to spend some time really going deep down and really thinking deeply about what that thing was for you. I want to talk more on this topic in the future because I think it is my purpose to help people discover their purpose, align their values with those of the world, and do so consistently to pursue and live a meaningful life. And I will do that. I will talk on this subject more in the future, but for now, have a think about that. Have a think about what your natural abilities are and how you can lean into them. Be mega.